everybody. I hope everybody can hear me. I am so excited finally. Happy Friday to everyone. Happy Friday. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As you come in, make sure you hit that like button because it must be done. And make sure you hype the video once we're done with this so we can get this great content and the algorithm, because YouTube is weird. Thank you all so much. What's going on? Happy Friday. What's going on, Flossie? What's happening, Francisca? Shout out to my moms. How y'all doing? What is going on? How y'all doing? I hope all is well. Y'all hit that like button. I'm ready. I'm so ready to get started, y'all. It's been a crazy, crazy last 2, 3 good days. Um, I'm tired. Tomorrow is uh the birthday of my father who passed away back in 2023 from prostate cancer. And then I found out one of my godmothers passed away on Thursday. It's when I say mentally and emotionally draining, it is just is. That's why I can't. It had to separate myself from drama nonsense. um, but thank you all so much for supporting me here in the LLC. I appreciate it. But when I have to, in good faith, step away from some buffoonery, I'm going to do that. Especially when, you know, no one wants to hold liars accountable. Can't make this up. So, y'all, we're going to check out the video, episode 3 of the investigation series that Joshua Carr has been doing. Oh, my goodness. The first 2 episodes have been so good. So I'm excited to get to episode 3 to check this out and review it. If you guys have not noticed, there are some live streams scheduled for tomorrow and Sunday, of course, for Scientology Sunday. We're going to be checking out Aaron is growing up in Scientology, is his YouTube channel, and his thoughts on some feedback he gave about the court battle against Scientology. And then there is some information on 2 hitmen haven't been arrested. Finally, the police and hopefully the U.S. government starts to fight back against a cult because they should not be controlling as much of the government or having that much influence, rather, than they do when we have armies. You can't make this up. So Scientology Sunday is going to be something else. But in the meantime, we got Candace, Karen. Candace is out here doing the most still because she's a demon. And so you have so many great content creators doing investigatory series on Candace because that's what happens. She's not impervious to that. I don't think she cares, but we're here for it either way. So Joshua Carr, tomorrow we're gonna do a marathon. You guys see. We got just facts and just me facts. What are the links you all sent me? They did like an hour. Oh my god, it's gonna be something else. Let's see. Melinda said, I'm gonna be hanging out with Jason tonight on his live, telling him what my sister did to me. It was fun. Oh, you got to hang out with Jason. Oh, okay, Melinda. It was. I'm glad you had fun. You talking about Jay Witt? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you all. I see your condolences in here. I appreciate that. Yeah, she was one of my godmothers. I had in my life since I was a baby, rather, and she passed away. So I told my mom, I said, "There's so much going on between, just still grieving over the loss of my dad and his birthday being tomorrow, and then this happens with one of my godmothers. It's like, oh my god." And just to add insult to injury, I'm tired. It's so much going on, and it can be overwhelming. So this is the little this distraction that I need right now. Um, so yeah, we're gonna have a good time with this video. I'm excited. I have not seen it. I'm ready to get into it. Thank you guys so much for your condolences. I appreciate you all. Make sure you're hitting that like button as well. And thank you all so much for your prayers and everything. Hey, Juju. Thank you so much. Melinda, all of you all. Jesus come now. Sorry to hear. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Nidra. Just want to recognize all you guys as well. I appreciate you guys support here. Oh Lord, Candace Yeasty's Owens farmer. Y'all saw the thumbnails. Y'all shout out to No Reply. What a thumbnail that's on Lady Luck Club with Sweet Tea. He sent over like a collage of photos of Candace. That thing is so funny. Y'all sent me some great ideas. Like I use you guys, photos and memes and stuff as thumbnails. So I always want to make sure I give shout out to you all who are sending over these great memes and the AI clips and stuff that I can't seem to get my hands on. Oh, epic. The jackass being one of them. So but y'all, we ready to get into this? Y'all ready to dive into it? Yeah, please let me know if there's anything going on with the audio. Because for some reason, StreamYard has been tripping. All right. So we're gonna get this video in, and hopefully, because I just need a good laugh. Hopefully, Ami has done a new video. But if not, we got a whole marathon planned for tomorrow, you all. So don't fret. I got as many videos as I could between what you guys have sent me and then what I came across just, in my recommendation that kind of raised my eyes a little bit. And so we got Joshua Carr. And I do want to get to the video if I can. Get to the video on Mira. She did a video about the Candace Owens fatigue. Yeah, because we're all sick of her ass. Candace, you have court April 28th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Macrons are showing us how it's done. They got a cease and desist sent out to Project Constitution, and then the idiot failed to get an attorney. Y'all, that was something else. He failed to get an attorney, so now he's really catching it. Oh, we're here for it. Y'all ready to get started on this? Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I know you guys could be anywhere else, but you guys chose to hang out with me, and I'm ever so grateful. What's going on, Leslie? What's going on, Caleb? Don't stop. Y'all hit that like button, and hit the 4 when you have done so. Let's get to this. Hit the 1 when you can hear. Let's go.
Welcome to episode 3 of my series, Obsession with Charlie, my investigation into who Candace Owens really is, her lies, and who is funding her. If you guys missed episode 1 or 2, I'll include a link in the description below for you to catch up on. And I do want to thank all of you for the massive reach that both episodes got and the kind comments that you have sent me surrounding the series. There's been a lot of Candace Owens viewers who've actually reached out to me and said that their opinion on her has changed, which is...
Was it Nick Brooks? Shout out to Nick Brooks. Aw, that's so sweet. Oh, I missed the whole thing, y'all. All right, yeah, I'm sorry. I had to sit this. Yay. Nick Brooks. You guys know he's a California attorney. He's so cute and dapper. He's always so sharp in his videos. Okay, shout out to Nick Brooks. Oh man. He has so many videos that I need to catch up on. Okay. I'm gonna catch up on that this weekend. You guys let me know if you want to do like a marathon of all of Nick Brooks' videos that I've missed over the last 2 months. It's a whole lot of videos I just haven't been able to catch up and get to, but I do want to. I want to watch it with you all. So I don't really want to have to just watch all the videos by myself. I'd rather watch it with you all so we can all learn together and have a good conversation and great dialogue, and know what to kind of look forward to with Candace's first court appearance coming up on her motion to dismiss because she doesn't want to go to the discovery phase. Candace, stop lying to your court members. They think that that's somehow a gimmick to want to get to the discovery process. She does not want to go there. And Project Constitution is too stupid to see that Candace is filing motion to dismiss the thing to have lawsuits dismissed because she doesn't want to go to the discovery phase. You know, ugh. And remind me to send him another comment on X and call him an idiot again. All right, let's go.
Really the goal of all of this. So thank you, and stick around to the end of today's episode. I'll be sharing some behind the scenes insights into my investigation overall. Now, 2 weeks ago, we talked about who Candace really is and what motivates her. Last week, we explored her lies and how fraudulent her investigations really are. But this week, we are going to be showing who funds her and how much money she has made in actual terms of dollars and cents, because we have an exact number. Because at the end of the day, for her, all of this comes down to one thing: money.
Money. Let's go! Oh, I'm so excited. Shout out to Joshua Carr.
Candace began her independent podcast in June of 2024, and it took off fast because she leaned on the same thing that she leaned on since the beginning of her commentary career in 2014, which is celebrity drama. She was able to grow her audience, leveraging her fallout with Jeremy Boring and Ben Shapiro at the Daily Wire. She also harkened back to her 2015 days by openly opposing Trump once again. You can see right here that her podcast starts off very strong in terms of subscriber growth. She got 380,000 new subscribers in July of 2024. And each line that you see on that graph right there represents 100,000 new subscribers. So she grew steadily for about 9 months there until April of 2025. By that point, the presidential election was over. She had openly come out against Trump, and her audience growth stalled out completely. In fact, it went well below 1/4 of the growth that she had before. And that is until Charlie Kirk was assassinated. You can see from April all the way to September, it plateaued. And not only did it plateau, it cratered. You can see the second lowest month in her podcast history happened to be the month that Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and actually continued to plateau throughout that month, even though she was talking about Charlie Kirk actively. He was assassinated again on September 10th, and she talked about him for 20 days after, and still her channel did not grow. It was one of the worst months for her ever. That is until she switched gears, and you can see this on her channel. Suddenly in October, she decided that she wanted to go on this conspiracy quest. She started asking questions, and she experienced more growth in that month than in the last 6 months combined. You can see it on this graph. This is from Social Blade. This is public information, and I have corroborated this with other sources such as ViewStats. There are a lot of people who track these sort of thing because it is public data. You can see in October, when she started the conspiracy grift, over 800,000 new subscribers came pouring in to see what Candace had on the Charlie Kirk investigation. And this is when Candace realized she had to continue to fabricate evidence in order to keep the grift going. How could you not, if you have the ethics that she has? She cratered. You can see it in the graph. And then suddenly out of nowhere, more than 800,000 people in the matter of 1 month. She had, in a matter of weeks, multiplied her earnings by more than 6 times. And you can see after that, the growth.
This is so crazy. 6 times the growth, and she got these dumb bots and cult members talking about, oh, well, she has a lot of money. She's #1 podcaster, which is determined by views, clicks, likes, and subs, right? But then she'll turn around and say, how dare you all accuse me of only doing this for money and views, clicks, likes, and subs. And then she embeds sponsors throughout all her videos. That goes to show that she was never genuine about this to begin with. Candace, you've never fooled me. I'm going to tell you that right now, heifer. This heifer has never, ever fooled me. Because this is why we went over all your lawsuits. Including that federal lawsuit where she's still named as a co-defendant for that meme coin, which was a fraud. It was a pump and dump scheme. That is a federal lawsuit in the state of Florida. Like, She doesn't even talk about all these lawsuits and stuff that she's involved with in or connected to, especially when there's something involving money. But yet she go and sues her apartment community complex because she decided to live in an apartment with mold for 7 months and failed to pay her rent. Same thing with her not giving back refunds for people who purchased tickets to see her speak in Australia. She doesn't even care if they get a refund or not. Once again, I'm not here to convince cult members that they're in a dumbass cult, but they are in one dumbass cult where they're being taken advantage of, because that's the classic sign of a narcissistic cult leader who feels like people should just be giving her their money. And she doesn't have to read a book or do anything, of substance to earn it. They have overwhelming evidence, but yet and still they haven't sent it over to the prosecutor's office. And then they want to have people's videos taken down because cult members don't like that you're sitting here criticizing their cult leader. We owe her nothing. And we're going to keep doing this until whenever. I am. I'm going to have a good time doing it. Because a liar is a liar. And they should be called out on it. All of this. And for what? For money. Money. And she's about to lose millions of it with all of these lawsuits that are about to start coming down the pipeline. Erica Kirk at TPUSA should have filed a lawsuit against her 6 months ago.
Flowed, and as people woke up to her grift slowly, she had the lowest month of growth she's ever experienced in the history of her channel, February. Last month, guys, this just barely happened. The grift was over. People were sick of her lies. You could see it all over X. People were calling her out, and she knew it. She knew she was on the fence. She knew the growth was over, but she couldn't give up the grift because she had seen that momentum. She had seen the money pour in. She had gained so much. And so on February 23rd, she announced Bride of Charlie. Again, her worst month ever. She announced this new series, Slandering Erica Kirk. And would you look at that? Again, you can see it on the graph. The numbers went back up. She had found a pattern and she would stick to it no matter what. By the way, as a side note, right when Candace Owens was brainstorming her Erica Kirk series, one of her main producers actually left the show. His name is Mark Herman. He resigned. I actually found a Reddit post where he himself says why he resigned. This is him at Reddit. He says, helping take that show to #1 was one of my greatest career accomplishments. Candace is absolutely still one of my best good friends. We speak fairly regularly. I've been working on other projects on the side, and it reached a point where I needed the bandwidth to focus on those. My last day as an employee was in late January, but I stayed on as a contractor to help get the new guy up to speed. The last episode I directed was her open letter to Erica Kirk, episode 303. Getting the show to #1 was the priority, no matter what, to Candace and her producers. And in the same post, he later says that he does not agree with Candace on everything, which I found interesting. I think Mark Herman resigned right when Candace went full mask off against Erica Kirk. You can see it in the timeline. And I do also believe him when he says that he's still friends with Candace. I don't think they fell out, but I do also believe he left because he didn't want anything to do with that series, because that series will
Well, you would think, though, if he were her friend and she's just doing this for money, that he will be able to tell her that. Why are these grown men simping for Candace? They don't have a spine when they need to tell her what she needs to hear. Just like that fake ass officer Brandon Tatum. He's too afraid to tell her to knock it out about Erica Kirk. And if Erica Kirk sues you, you're on your own. Like he can't muster up the strength to tell her that, or the courage, because he's scared of her and her cult. That it's the ass kissing for me from these grown ass men that she's not studying at all, because Candace, why were you grabbing that woman's butt again? She's not studying him at all. George is not even stunned up. He pays her no attention. And yet you got all these grown men simping for Candace, and she could care less that they exist. How is that a friend when you can't tell her the truth? No, if she gets sued, her entire staff should be named as co-defendants. Every single last one of her team members should be named as a co-defendant in any lawsuit brought on by Erica Kirk and TPUSA. Plus all her cohorts over there on X. I even said Evan Kilgore should be held accountable. Even if he comes in and just testifies to all the stuff that she said and done, he needs to come in and testify and make it be, let it be made known in court. You would think he would say, listen, the best way to get her attention is to take her through the court of law, not court of public opinion. So this guy now quits, Mark Herman, left talking about we're still good friends, but yet you're too cowardly to tell her what she needs to know. Okay.
Sustain those producers for life. The only other people those producers are ever going to be able to get a job with is either like Ian Carroll or maybe some Iranian state-sponsored broadcasting. Now, I show you all of that so everybody understands Candace Owens runs a business, and it is a business that has no standards or values. She sees a pattern that makes a lot of money, and she follows it. That is her business standard, her business value. The people who get in the way of that are just collateral, whether that be Charlie Kirk or Erica Kirk or any of the people that she's defamed along the way. And this is where we get into the actual dollars and cents, why you guys are here. Fortunately, because I work in this industry, I know how the pay structures work. I know how much the sponsors pay, and I know how to get that information. So I have it here for you to see. Before I show you, just for fun, I want you to comment down below how much you think she's made off of her pseudo investigation of Charlie Kirk in the last 6 months. The reason why I want you to do this is the number's astounding. And I don't think there's many.
How much do you all think? Y'all put some numbers in the chat. How much do you all think she's made? I think she's made well over $5 million. Well over. Because you got to remember all the supers, all the cash apps, whatever other means that she takes, funds and does social fundraising. Plus her book club, any paywall memberships, plus the merch. So with her merch, that's making money on its own because, she's illegally using the CIA logo. And they haven't said a damn word, which they should. She should have been cornered already by the CIA. You're using their logo without their permission and you're making money from it. And that's illegal. But she can also be held legally liable. But thinking about all the sources of how she's earned money since September 10th of 2025. How much do you all think she's made? I'm saying it's an easy 5 mil. Maybe even more than 10 million. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Close to 60 million, 7 million, 70 million, 20 million, 12, 10, 3+ million, more than 59 million. What? How you doing, Albert? Shout out to all of you all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Y'all hit that like button. Need just said 4 million, 3 million a week. What? Y'all, this is so crazy. Who knew defamation was so lucrative? Who knew? If you lie like hell, you make a lot of money. You can't make this stuff up. People are prone to sit here and support you when you're lying, and they're willing to throw money your way when you already have a lot of money. And let George tell it, he's got this asset of $244 million supporting him, along with 2 rich-ass parents. He's never been broke. Let's just put it that way. This lavender marriage must not be paying her enough. Yo, 3 million a week is insane. All right, let's find out, y'all. Let's get back to it.
Many people who are going to come even close. So comment down below before I reveal it. And if you're close, maybe I'll respond to you and I'll give you kudos for getting the numbers. So here are the numbers. Candace gets an average of 3.6 million views per episode. That's been in the last 6 months, an average. About 1.21 million of that is on YouTube each day. Okay. And the rest can be attributed to other podcast apps like Spotify or Apple or Amazon. And since she's only posting on the weekdays, that comes out to about 2.57 million views per day, every day for the last 6 months. Now, if you look at her show, she has every single day 4 sponsors, each of which she does what is called a host-read mid-roll. And if you don't know what that is, a host-read mid-roll simply means that she is the host of the show and she reads an ad in the middle of the show, not at the beginning or at the end. And because it's host-read, it's worth a little bit more to a company. And so, rather than if they just stuck an ad in the middle, because the host is actually saying it. This is how these pay structures tend to go. It's with something called a CPM deal. CPM stands for cost per mil, mil meaning 1,000 in Latin. And essentially, it's a dollar amount that the company's willing to pay per 1,000 views that you get. And in my experience, the industry usually pays between $20 and $40 per 1,000 views. That's what the CPM would be. Sometimes if you're really famous, maybe for Candace Owens, those numbers might be higher, like $50, $60, even $80 at the really high end. And again, Candace has 4 of those every single video. So let's assume that her sponsors pay CPM of $30, which I think is very conservative and I think it's very realistic. That means her daily revenue from sponsors alone is $308,400. Now, the other revenue source she takes in is from YouTube ads as well. She gets 1.21 million views from YouTube. CPMs on YouTube are much lower since it's not host read on YouTube. I think maybe $10 per 1,000 views would be a conservative estimate for a podcast length video. And that would mean that she makes an additional $12,142 a day from YouTube. So here is the grand total, guys. What? Charlie Kirk died 6 months ago. In that time, she's produced 79 episodes over 184 days. And in that amount of time, Candace Owens has made $59 million.
What in the entire hottest parts of hell is this? Lord. Goodness. $59 million, and she's crying and whining about being bankrolled. Candace, if you don't kiss our ass, you better. This heifer has earned $59 million over 184 days. And she gets mad when people say she does this for money. That is astronomical. You know what? We got to come up with some good ass lies to tell on Candace. I want to test this theory out. What y'all think? We got to pose them all as questions, though, okay? Because we can't just say direct that it's a fact or anything. We have to pose it as questions or give our, best theories and hypotheses and estimations. We got to leave it to where it still fits in the world of reporting without it being defamatory or malicious. Then we can just, go back and correct it. You can't make this up. $59 million. And yet she couldn't pay Mitch Snow $140,000. Did she ever match his donations dollar for dollar? Did he ever get that money? Do y'all know if Mitch Snow got the money? I know, right? What in the entire fuckery is going on? This is unbelievable. Candace, that's the one thing your bots and your cult members have not lied about. You making $59 million on the death of Charlie Kirk. You weaponized his assassination, which was, shown by on national television. The entire public has seen it. For those who want to see it. For you watch it over and over and over and over and over again because you're a hellspawn from Lucifer's toilet. So you watching this man die over and over again is exciting for you and it's exhilarating. You have no soul. So this $59 million, Candace, I hope is worth your soul you sold to the devil himself. You can't make this up. This girl has made this much money on lying like hell for 6 months. 6 months off of the death of Charlie Kirk. And she wants to get offended when people say that she's doing this for money. Candace, why don't you just own it? Numbers don't lie. Because you don't know the difference between the letter N and the number 9. Yeah, she doesn't know the difference between the letter N and the number 9. She said this herself out of her mouth. You can't make this up. Oh, she's such an idiot. Candace, what's 2 times 3? This girl, $59 million. And she throws a full tantrum when you say you're just doing this for the money, Candace Amber Rose Owens Farmer. You and your lavender marriage pink husband. George. You stand behind that camera every episode and you say nothing because you knew that you were profiting off of this $59 million. I hope that either of those 2 clowns are no longer able to sleep peacefully. Mark my words. May they be disturbed and have their slumber disrupted. For sitting here and profiting off of the death of somebody that she has flagrantly lied about for 6 months and can't tell us who she believes pulled the trigger on the gun. Because in her alternate universe, it's not Tyler Robinson. Because reasons. Evidence is not something she's familiar with. Candace, how much of this did you pay Tyler Robinson? Because if you made $59 million, I'm sure you may have guaranteed him 10%. Hopefully it's not a flat dollar amount because he's in prison and you're not. How much did you pay Tyler Robinson, Candace? I might change the title of that. Since lie sale. If you lie like hell, you could get $59 million. Yeah, this is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't even know how else to, good grief. Project Constipation. Ian Carroll got kicked out. We managed to get Ian kicked out by that Miss Snow debunk. Oh, good. Yeah, why do I keep thinking Ian Carroll is a woman? What if he's a shapeshifter? Candace thinks that her and all her so-called friends went to the Xavier School for the Gifted Young. They're all mutants from X-Men. Perhaps Ian Carroll is a shapeshifter. Deep down he was a woman. Just kind of shifted into a man and been stuck looking the way he's looking ever since then. I don't know why I keep thinking. The first thing I think when I see Ian Carroll's name is that's a woman. Oh, dear Lord. What's going on, Artis? Hey, Gary. She had the most to gain from CK's death and she had motive. Oh, she did. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Candace, you were looking forward to that reunion. And since you didn't get the money from TPUSA the way you wanted it by being on their payroll and having them pay you a retainer for their PR, something you begged for them to do twice on social media. You just figure, you know what? Why not get Charlie out the way? And then I weaponize his assassination and make a boatload of money. And George is sitting there saying, yeah, go ahead. That's a good idea. We're broke. We need it. He's got $244 million in assets, though. Where is his money at? She's made $59 million. And that is being generous and conservative with the $30 for the RPM. Was it the WPM or something like that? Yo, this is crazy. No, he's not. Mitch Snow is. Tracy said Mitch Snow is on a live. Oh, child. Mitch Snow, you're not giving me a headache today. Did he ever get that money? Can anybody go over there and ask? If you go over there, put in the chat. Did you ever cash out of that fundraising? Candace couldn't even give him the $140,000. No proof that she ever even matched the donations dollar for dollar. Because if that be the case, he should have cashed out 280, right? If she matched it dollar for dollar, then he should have gotten out double between what was raised and what she matched. I can guarantee you all, she did not give him a dime, and yet she made $59 million. Candace, why don't you get Project Constitution and an attorney? That idiot is going to need one. This is unbelievable. Y'all hit that like button. Oh man, Joshua Carr.
59 million. Now I know that a lot of people are going to hear that.
Yeah.
And they're going to think that is an unfathomably large number. There's no way that's real. That's got to be exaggerated or fabricated, guys. It is not. And for some context, podcasting is a huge industry. And Candace Owens does get a lot of views. Just in the past few years, podcasting services have offered several people hundreds of millions of dollars just to go on the platform. That is not even including the ad revenue. Just to show you some examples of this, you have the big famous one, which is Joe Rogan. Spotify paid him $250 million, and it wasn't even exclusive to go on to their platform and host his show there. You have one with Alex Cooper, who's the Call Her Daddy host, $125 million with SiriusXM. You had a $100 million deal with SiriusXM with Jason Bateman, and Bill Simmons did one for $250 million on Spotify in 2020. So the money in podcasting is massive, and Candace Owens is taking full advantage. Now, before we get to
$59 million, Jill says, hey, Jill, currently on Gibson Go Gold, Mitch Snow has raised $149,982 out of $250. So if Candace matches that dollar for dollar, he should technically get out of that 149,982 times 2, because he'll be getting out what was raised plus her dollar for dollar match contribution. So he'll be walking away with almost $300,000 damn dollars. You can't, and for what? For him to be a part of a lie, to say that he was somewhere he couldn't prove, that he saw Erica Kirk at the same location. Whether he was there or not, I could give a damn. But he never proved that he saw her there. And never mind cameras installed in hospitals showing her going in the hospital with her mother on the day of September 10th. No, she allowed him to come on her platform and these two concoct up the dumbest lie ever about her being on some military base, and they get upset when we debunked his ass as the internet, because the internet is undefeated. Shout out to No Reply. Shout out to all those that was doing the investigatory work behind the scenes. And he gets debunked like hell. And then everybody's the one that's keeping that alive and talking about it. Because you put it out there, you dingus. And she knew it. Candace wants attention one way or the other. That's why I refuse to watch those Bride of Charlie series. I don't, all that BS she's talking about with that, and you going after a widow which violates the word of God. No, ma'am. Nope. You can go to hell by yourself, Candace. No, thank you. But yet and still, she gets mad when you say she's doing this for the money. When she's made $59 million and still brags about being number one when she's clearly not. Because that could be Googled as well, you dumb heifer. Candace. Oh, man. I got to start lying for a living, y'all. And then just go back and retract it later and say that I did it in the spirit of journalism. You know, like that idiot Project Constitution is trying to do, because he's a coward. Go to court.
Who these sponsors are, I want to give a quick callback to episode 1 of this series. I saw some criticism of my video saying that my theory that George Farmer and Candace has a business relationship, that it didn't make sense to people. That Candace had
No,
a
it
lot
makes
to
sense.
gain by marrying George, but he had nothing to gain by marrying Candace Owens. That it didn't make sense from his end. Allegedly, guys, George Farmer's net worth is between $100 and $200 million, a lot. Candace brings in more than $100 million a year by my estimations. So if you don't think that sounded attractive to him, or that he didn't
Right.
want her viewership eyeballs for his company, such as Parler at the time, you're out of your mind. He was rich, sure. Candace Owens is richer. George Farmer was rich, but in his own words, he saw that Candace had the potential to bring in hundreds of millions. And apparently,
And plus, he said himself, he sees himself in her. So, oh, Georgie boy saw himself in Candace. He saw how greedy she was for money, how money hungry, how power hungry she was. And that really just kind of just added the icing to the cake. It wasn't just the money for him. It's also the power. That's why he sits back talking about, oh, I let her be glorified, or whatever he said. I let her, shine. Because he knows that putting her at the forefront is going to bring the views and the likes and the subs and the clicks. He's not the personality, if you will. He's not the podcaster personality type. He's the one that does the silent strikes behind the curtain, hiding like the little good boy he is, trapped in that closet with the boys club. That's what he's doing. He's like, yeah, you go ahead and make the money, and then I'm going to spend it with me and the boys. Like, that's all that is. He sees her potential to bring in that consistent revenue as long as she keeps lying like hell. As long as she's bringing in $59 million within 6 months, yeah, he saw that as a very lucrative deal. Plus, what better way to sit here and say, I'm going to piss my parents off. I'm just going to, do any and everything I can to show some level of rebellion by marrying somebody that thinks that Hitler is a cool person. Like, this is it's the buffoonery of it all. And Candace is just saying whatever to keep the attention and focus on her because she knows that's going to bring in the money. She would rather be the most negative, controversial, infamous person making $59 million in 6 months than to be famous for doing the right thing and telling the truth and barely bring in $1 to $2 million. This is about the money. George is an idiot. He could not keep Parler Inc. running. Candace is also an idiot, and she couldn't keep Blexit running. So these two idiots that don't know how to run a business on their own had to come together, figured out a way to generate this type of money by simply lying and putting her in front of a microphone while he stands behind the camera. Their marriage is a business deal. He's like the producer and the director, and she's the voice. It's that simple. Because if he cared about how this was hurting and putting Erica Kirk and 2 kids in harm's way, he would have told her to kick rocks, go make me a sandwich, and go sit down somewhere and shut the hell up a long time ago. But you notice he has not stopped her at all. Why would he if she's making $59 million in 6 months? So he's going to let her continue to defame Erica Kirk and TPUSA. I just hope they name his ass as a co-defendant when they drop a lawsuit on her, and they need to do it. Don't just sue Candace Owens. No, sue his ass too. Sue George Farmer. Make sure he's named in his individual and professional capacity. Yep. All his LLCs, name them all. Because allegedly he's got 244 mills sitting in assets somewhere. So whatever LLCs those are falling under, name that in your lawsuit. Go after the money. Because that's the only way you're going to really be able to deliver a blow to this dumbass cult leader. You got to hit her in the pockets. And what she can't do is ignore this court order if she's ordered to pay out a judgment. Because they can hold her in contempt and then she can go to jail. So sue her. That's the answer. The Macrons are showing us how it's done. At this juncture, Erica Kirk and TPUSA, the answer is to file a lawsuit against her and George Farmer. Because they're married after all. And what's his is hers and hers is his. And why not? He stands behind the camera and lets this happen. And he's failed to stop the defamation from occurring. So add him to the lawsuit. Y'all, this is mind-boggling. Yeah. I would love to test this theory out.
He was right. I think the business marriage worked out. We have not included her other social media accounts, which we don't have numbers on, unfortunately, because they're not public. The revenue would be a little bit lower. It'd be probably in the number of hundreds of thousands of dollars or maybe just a few million, but it adds up. We also haven't included her membership subscriptions and how many people are paying her that way. But suffice it to say, there are millions of dollars more.
Nidra, I would be that would be game on. You know how many people would not even know? Because at the end of the day, we as human beings, we still love the gossip of it all, right? It's entertainment. Nidra, I am just so down with that. We'll create skits and everything, girl. We can go all the way down. We're gonna have a beef and everything on TikTok. I don't even have an account over there, so that would be fun for me. Oh man. Oh, this lying is getting her $59 million.
She's getting from smaller revenue streams as well. There's only 1 month left to file your taxes, but fortunately, my partner, Quick Tax America, makes it so much easier, and they're doing all federal tax returns for only $76 this year.
Joshua Carr in the chat. Oh my God. Joshua Carr's in the chat. Oh, how you doing, honey? Oh my goodness. I am so happy to see you. I would love to do an interview with you. I literally left you a comment on your video asking for an interview. Oh my God. Oh, Joshua Carr. Can we get some love to Joshua Carr? Oh man. Honey, I'm screaming, honey, like, oh, you wouldn't believe it. I'm blushing too. I'm so happy. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, you're a celebrity over here. Darling, you're doing such a great job. Oh, I love your series. I love it. I have to resist the urge to not watch it until I go live. This is an absolute blessing. What a blessing. I was just telling everybody, what my last 2-3 days was like. I lost a godmother of mine. And you have no idea how your presence has just blessed my soul. Shout out to Joshua Carr in the chat. Oh my goodness. Can I get a mod to please put the YouTube channel link to Joshua Carr in the chat? Let's show him some love. Oh my good grief. Oh my good grief. I can't believe it. I just responded to the comment. Let's set it up. Yes. Email me, honey. Let me get you my email. Shout out to you and your family, your wife. I hope everything is well with you. You have blessed my soul today. Do you hear me? God knows just what you needed. I needed this. This has just blessed my soul. Joshua Carr, please email me. Please email me and let's set up something. I don't know when you're free and available, but tell me as soon as you have free time. Let's set up an interview. Oh my God. Yes, one of my godmothers, not the judge. Another godmother of mine, Cheryl. How you doing? How's our LLC baby? Oh my goodness. Joshua Carr, hey Wyoming. Y'all, shout out to you. Email me. Yes. Yes. Y'all, can we just drop some red hearts in the chat for Joshua Carr? Your series is absolutely fantastic, and I am here for it. I am here for it. I cannot believe Candace has generated $59 million by lying. She started lying into a profession. Man, you just, you know these things are happening, but it's still shocking to the system to see how lucrative lying can be. Oh my goodness gracious. You are welcome here at any time, y'all. Joshua, what a blessing. Oh man. Thank you, Candace. Shout out to you. Shout out to all of my mods. I have the best mods on YouTube. Joshua Carr, you're gonna get treated very well. Trust me. Oh man. Y'all, we gotta set this up. Oh yes. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Thank you so much. Don't stop. This is a blessing. I need it. Oh man, this is such a picker up. Y'all have no idea how much this blessed my soul. Shout out to you, Joshua. Oh, yes, March on. Joshua Carter, man, you see on the screen is in the chat. And he's emailing me. We're gonna set up an interview. We sure. That's a blessing. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you can tune in and just hang out with us. I appreciate you showing up. Y'all, look at this. I feel so blessed and lucky right now. Y'all, let's get back to it. Make sure you guys show him some love. Feel free to engage, ask questions. We're going to have a whole interview set up and have a good old time. You hear me? And we're going to laugh and laugh and laugh. Oh, man, this is awesome. Thank you so much for showing up and supporting the Lady Luck Club over here. Feel honored. Thank you so much. Y'all, let's get back to this. I'm going to go through the spots a little bit. Okay, here we go. Let's get back to
taxamerica.com. Now, the other thing we have to address is foreign money, specifically Qatar. We have FARA filings of Qatar influencing podcasters to the tune of $180,000 a month. Here are the FARA filings. We can get them because they are public. You can see it's a lot of mumbo jumbo, but you can see at the bottom, name of the registrant is Lumen 8. Lumen 8 Advisors, the people facilitating this, but the name of the foreign principal is the Embassy of the State of Qatar. And you can see, if you search a little bit longer in there, that there are the terms. It says, in consideration of the reserve days, the client will pay the consultant a fixed monthly retainer of $180,000 on the first day of each month. And at the bottom, there's even more money. And it says, consultant fees for each additional day shall be
Can we go back to this? The Embassy of Qatar? Are they allowed to do that? What? Is this allowed?
Facilitating this, but the name of the foreign principal is the Embassy of the State of Qatar. And you can see, if you search a little bit longer in there, that there are the terms. It says, in consideration of the reserve days, the client will pay the consultant a fixed monthly retainer of $180,000 on the first day of each month. And at the bottom, there's even more money. And it says, consultant fees for each additional day shall be $16,000 per day or $1,200 an hour. One of the things that this money was used for, and this is documented already, was to pay Tucker Carlson, for example, to do an interview with the president of Qatar a few months ago. So this is a very real thing. The difficult thing with all of this, with these marketing agencies, is that it goes through like 6 people before it goes from Qatar down to the influencer. So it goes from the Embassy of Qatar, who has to file the FARA filing with Lumen 8 Advisors, who then gets the money and they give it to a media company, who then give that money to an agent, who then gives it to the podcaster. And that podcaster doesn't have to file FARA because they just got the money from the media company. And that's a US-based company, so it's fine. The money trail.
That is how they're getting around the system. I was literally just asking, isn't this a conflict? Oh my God. Did y'all hear that? Y'all, this they're the embassy of Qatar. Oh my goodness. I'll head out so you don't feel pressure to be unobjective towards the series. I want all the criticism. You don't have to go anywhere, honey. One thing I do is speak my mind over here. Oh, I'm very honest now. Wait a minute. So, do you think that they're circumventing this on purpose? The embassy of Qatar is serving as an advertiser or a sponsor to pay. And she's sitting here worried about what Israel is doing with their influence. Yeah, I had no idea this was going on. This is unbelievable. I love your series, honey. You listen. I don't even know. The only criticism I have is that they're not long enough. You know, these videos could be longer. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is fantastic. I can't believe this is what they're doing. The Embassy of Qatar is paying people as a sponsor, and then they're using US based companies like media companies to get around the red tape. What?
Well, by then has already gotten convoluted. And so
I
file FARA because they just got the money from the media company. And that's a US based company, so it's fine. The money trail by then has already gotten convoluted. And so you don't need a FARA filing for someone like Tucker Carlson, for example, to take money from Qatar. Now, I'm not going to make the claim that Candace Owens is for sure getting paid by Qatar on the show, but I'm showing you that $180,000 is allocated from Qatar to US YouTubers monthly. And that money has to be going somewhere. And I don't think it's going to people with 100 subscribers. It's probably going to people who are getting a lot of views and share their propaganda. Now, returning back to Candace Owens sponsors, this is where we run into another problem. Her sponsors include...
Okay, so my question would be, how are they paying taxes on this? Like, are they even, if they don't have to file anything, are they even paying taxes on this money? Would this be considered income? Wouldn't this be considered self-employment income? Y'all, this is crazy. This is absolutely out. My mind is blown, y'all. Boy, it's it makes sense now. Yes, it is. Why, homie? Yeah, oh yeah, it's not long enough. That child, Joshua, if you're still listening, the series can be longer. That's my only criticism. This is episode 3. We have watched all episodes so far, and I have enjoyed every single last one of them. Oh my goodness. Paying taxes is anti-Semitic. What? What are you talking about? Why would you pay taxes? Because wouldn't that be income? We pay taxes over here. Oh, child. Y'all. This is so crazy. So it's the money. And they you know they got to find a way around paying taxes on this. I'm just going to assume that she does not until she proves that she does. Can you imagine? And didn't Candace say once that she would, if Qatar wanted to pay her, she would take their money? I'm very meticulous with that, especially when she says things specifically. I'm going to have to, if anyone could come across the episode where she said, I don't know if she did an interview or if it was on her show, where she said that she would take Qatar money, I'm going to snip and clip that. That's going to be a thumbnail right next to this document. Because that goes to show she doesn't care who pays her. This is after she said twice that she wanted to be on TPUSA's payroll. Make that make sense? She said that twice. She wants to be on TPUSA's payroll and wanted them to pay her a monthly retainer. She also said, no one pays me the big bucks. I snipped that one. I'm sitting here like, this girl got $59 million. Candace, you want to keep lying and saying that no one's paying you the big bucks? Because I actually snipped you saying that. This is crazy. Yeah, I gotta hear this one more time. I can't believe this. I just gotta go back. Let this sink in how this process goes down between money coming from the embassy of Qatar to the actual podcaster. Oh my
Of
God.
$180,000 on the first day of each month. And at the bottom, there's even more money. And it says consultant fees for each additional day shall be $16,000 per day or $1,200 an hour.
Oh my
One of the
God.
things that this money was used for, and this is documented already, was to pay Tucker Carlson, for example, to do an interview with the president of Qatar a few months ago. So this is a very real thing. The difficult thing with all of this, with these marketing agencies, is that it goes through like 6 people before it goes from Qatar down to the influencer. So it goes from the embassy of Qatar, who has to file the FARA filing with Lumen 8 advisors, who then gets the money and they give it to a media company, who then give that money to an agent, who then gives it to the podcaster.
What?
And that podcaster doesn't have to file FARA because they just got the money from the media company. And that's a
Oh,
US-based
man.
company, so it's fine. The money trail by then has already gotten convoluted. And so you don't need a FARA filing for someone like Tucker Carlson, for example, to take money from Qatar. Now, I'm not going to make the claim that Candace Owens is...
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see, if they're reporting this as income. I can guarantee you they're finding loopholes. That's why Candace has so many LLCs registered in Delaware, to avoid having to pay high taxes on any money she has coming in under that Candace Owens LLC. I mean, it cuts down on it. And she hasn't gone out of her way to transfer that LLC registration to the state of Tennessee either. When she attempted to do it, because we pulled that information up, the registration application was vacated because she didn't do anything with it. And we pulled that up. So her LLC is still registered in Delaware. And even if she tried to do it now, it will be futile when it comes to the Macron lawsuit, because at the time that they filed the complaint, and of course, at the time she was being defamatory, her LLC was registered in Delaware. That is where her income, this $59 million, is coming under that LLC. That's why they're suing Candace Owens in her individual and in her professional capacity with the Candace Owens LLC. Because that's where the money is being generated under. That revenue is coming under that LLC. So they sued that as well. That is, and $59 million. I hope the Macrons ask for every coin. I hope they ask for $59 million. Oh, man. And then TPUSA and Erica Kirk can drop their lawsuits. They're going to have to put George Farmer on that one.
For sure getting paid by Qatar
Oh,
on the
my
show.
goodness.
But I'm showing you that $180,000 is allocated from Qatar to US YouTubers monthly. And that money has to be going somewhere. And I don't think it's going to people with 100 subscribers. It's probably going to people who are getting a lot of views and share their propaganda. Now, returning back to Candace Owens sponsors, this is where we run into another problem. Her sponsors include some of the following. This is the main ones. Nimi Skincare, Pure Talk, Tax Network USA, American Financing, The Wellness Company, Paleo Valley, Knickknack, Active Skin Repair, Masterpiece Health, Cozy Earth, Goldco, Just Thrive. These companies have one thing in common. They sponsor conservatives. They don't just sponsor Candace Owens. They sponsor Ben Shapiro. They sponsor Tucker Carlson. And I say conservatives, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, they're not really conservatives. But it's people either on the alt-right or true conservatives like Ben Shapiro and many others. I did a lot of research into them. And honestly, these are really good companies. That's what's tricky. They are founded by veterans. They're founded by families. Most of them are good products. And they support conservatives, which is good. But right now, they're also supporting Candace Owens, who is neither conservative nor someone you want your brand associated with. So I'm not calling to boycott these brands, but I do think that they should reevaluate their ties to Candace, and we should go and tell them to do it.
Yes, I agree. Because the only way Candace is going to understand It's not going to be because we've all pulled up scriptures in the Bible about why God said leave widows alone. Several scriptures in the Bible that says leave widows alone and to protect them. Candace doesn't care about what the Bible states. She says Christ is king as a slogan. She doesn't mean any of it. If she cares about money, then that's how you got to hit her in the pockets. That's how you get her attention. And since she doesn't take a cease and desist letter seriously, the only way you are really guaranteed to be able to hit her in the pockets for her to stop is to take her to court. And then you go after her and her LLCs as well as George and his LLCs. Because that's where his assets are sitting under. So this is something else. The sponsors should think about that. Because was Candace ever conservative? I mean, let's be honest. She rode on the backs of conservatism and the idea of being a Republican to catapult her career. Because think about it. She could be loud and wrong all day, but as long as she's saying the trigger words and saying things that that people want to hear, they're still willing to support her. Now she's turned a whole lot of people away. But deep down, it was never genuine. Candace was always being disingenuous. Always. And there are a lot of other, conservatives who are also African American women. And they're genuinely conservative. They care about their party, the platform. They care about it. And they also have podcasts. I hate that she tried to go after Kimberly Klacik. It's like she looks at people as competition and thinks that, oh no one should be sharing this pedestal with me. I'm the only black female conservative in this party. It's just me and me only. No, you're not. And many others have come before her. And many others will come after her. But if you get too well known, she goes in and just attack. To where it's almost like the person just kind of taps out and it's like, okay, whatever. But was she ever genuinely conservative? No. Nope. She stepped on a lot of backs to get to where she is. And hopefully these companies, these sponsors, would at least look at all the information that's being put out here about her. And they will reevaluate this. Because at some point, Candace is going to run out of content. She's going to run out of material. She will not have anything else to talk about. And she can only weaponize Charlie Kirk's assassination, but for so long. The more she continues to attack Erica Kirk, the less support she has. It's crazy. $59 million in 6 months.
Girl. I don't like cancel culture. I don't think we should cancel these companies. I think we should let them know how we feel and remind them of what Candace Owens has said and who she's attacking. I'm all for money. I'm a capitalist. Sponsors on podcasts are a given, and there's nothing wrong with that. I've got mine. Everyone has them. But just understand, Candace Owens saw the views go down, and she pivoted. And what she pivoted into was fabricating news, and that pivot has paid her over $60 million over the last 6 months. And to her fans and viewers, I just have to say, she's using you. And she's using other people by lying about them. Don't let her get away with it. Well, guys, I've had many people ask me, will there be an episode 4? Will you continue this series like Candace has continued her series about Erica Kirk beyond 3 episodes that it was originally slated to be? And my answer is no.
No,
I'm not going to. This was never intended to be an indefinite investigation. This wasn't about being a never-ending grift like Candace Owens has produced. This series.
This isn't a grift. Joshua Carr, please. Can you take us to 5? Perhaps you reconsider in the interview. Oh my God. And we only get 3 episodes. Oh no. Oh man. 7 is the number of completion. What I mean, we would not say a word if you went to the number 7. Joshua Carr, is there any way we can persuade you to do another episode? This is so good. It's so good. It's so well done. I think people are just, because Candace doesn't talk about herself, and when she does, she lies. She gives conflicting details about her background. So for someone to come along and do this research, do the homework, and put it together in a video like this, where you can lay it out and give all the facts and the information. Oh man, this is a treat. This is not a grift. This needs to be done. And plus, it'll give the sponsors something else to kind of, be able to see, to understand why Candace is not somebody they should be supporting like that. And why she was never a true conservative or anything in the first place. She was always a grifter. Candace, how's that yeast infection treating you? Oh my goodness. Please do another show. Yeah, this can't be the end. It can't be the end. Let's encourage Joshua to do one more episode.
Well, guys, I've had many people ask me, will there be an episode 4? Will you continue this series like Candace has continued her series about Erica Kirk beyond 3 episodes that it was originally slated to be? And my answer is no. I'm not going to. This was never intended to be an indefinite investigation. This wasn't about being a never-ending grift like Candace Owens has produced. This series has obviously grown my channel a lot. And to be honest with you, I have every single incentive to continue this series. But I don't want to be like Candace Owens. That's why I'm not going to continue. Matt Frad, Pints with Aquinas, he actually reached out with some helpful advice for me. I thought I'd share it with you. He commented it publicly on my channel. Here's what he said. He said, with respect, friend, and with all sincerity and gentleness, don't become what you hate. Don't let these videos become what you hate about Candace's videos. And I think he's right. I took this advice to heart. The phrase that comes to my mind from the New Testament, when I think of all of this, is they have their reward. He says that a lot, Jesus does, especially on the Mount of Beatitudes. Jesus never says that people like Candace Owens will be struck down and not have money or fame. He doesn't ever say that. What he says instead is that's what they're searching for, and that's what they'll find. And that's all they'll find. I think Candace has searched for and found money and wealth, and I think that's her reward. And I think that it's not something that I want. While this investigation is a part of my show, which is a business and it is my livelihood, I hope that the series has been different than Candace Owens. That it was about exposing the flaws in her thinking, in her actions, and showing the irony of what her followers would accuse me of. One of the funniest parts of this series, frankly, maybe my favorite part, is the people who watch Candace telling me in my comments that I don't have facts to back up what I'm saying. I don't think they understand.
Joshua, don't feel bad. They do that to everybody. The bots just copy and paste. So do the cult members, I call them candy asses. But they copy and paste. They don't think about what they're saying. They don't even spell her name right. That's why I call her Candace. That's how they actually spell her name. Candice. That's the more commonly misspelled way of Candace's name by her own supporters. Then we've seen a Karen, a Cadence, and a Condense. Then we see a Condense once. Condace. I've seen a Condense, Cadence, Karen, Candice. 4 different ways they have misspelled this girl's name. And they're her own supporters because they're all in her chat as well. So don't feel bad. It's what they do. They copy and paste. Yeah, I just laugh at it and see it as entertainment and keep living. You can't make this up. Oh, man. They still want me to get $7,000 from Israel. I told them, just pay me the money and then y'all get it back from Israel. Bibi Netanyahu, if you're listening. Candace's supposed cult members and her bots are going to give me the money up front. Just pay them back because they want me to have the $7,000 so bad. I'm like, that does not offend me. That doesn't work over here. Where they say stuff like that. None of that works on me. I feel no guilt at all. If Candace has made $59 million lying. And she claims to have evidence that if she did, why didn't she take it to the prosecutor in the state of Utah? To the attorney general, where there's a criminal investigation and a murder trial happening in the state of Utah. Why wouldn't she just turn it over to them? Yeah, because she has none. Even with Project Constitution, Erica Kirk will never see a day in prison. What do you mean? You're accusing her of unaliving her husband or being involved in the plot of it. And yet she'll never see a day in prison. Do you understand that a charge of conspiracy to commit unaliving would warrant prison time? This is the buffoonery that they throw out there. And they're proud of that. So we laugh at them for it. So don't worry about them comments. They're going to just copy and paste. It's so ridiculous. Y'all. Oh, man. This cannot be the last episode. Oh, Josh, please, one more. Just one more.
Understood how ridiculous they sound. I don't think they understood the parody that I've made here. But there was one criticism that was levied at me last episode that I do want to address directly and openly. I spoke about Candace's lies, proved that through real life examples, how she had changed her story in order to form a completely false narrative. Some criticized me of not being able to share all the data that I had from sources. And I want to make two things very clear about that. Journalists are never required to share their sources.
Not at all.
Not sharing them does not discredit journalists at all.
Exactly.
What discredits journalists is when they are repeatedly proven to be liars and proven to be untrustworthy, which is exactly what we've done for Candace. Nobody has ever been able to do that with me. And the reason why is because all the things I've said have had real sources behind them and have always been the truth.
Right.
What Candace does, there's no problem occasionally saying, I have a source, I can't tell you who it is, but it's true. Journalists do it all the time. It's fine. But you have to be trustworthy in order to do that. And Candace has never been trustworthy. She has been proven, I've done it on the show, that she is a liar. The other thing I want to say regarding my sources is obviously I wanted to share more with you. I wanted to share as much as I could. As I've discussed before, the fear from Candace Owens is intense from people. She will say whatever she can to hurt people, even if it's an open defamation against them. I had many sources who told me things that I simply couldn't share because I gave them my word. And that's what they required from me in order to give me information or point me in a certain direction. And so there's no way I was going to go back on my word and share that.
Exactly.
There are other things that I couldn't share for legal reasons. And those are good legal reasons, by the way, and things that we can all look forward to and things I'll be able to share with you more about in the future. We will continue to call Candace Owens out on a case-by-case basis. We will continue to defend the innocent. And I want to thank each one of you for joining me for this series. And I hope above all that Candace Owens viewers who are watching right now will have their hearts and minds changed so we can attack evil with clarity and with decisiveness. God bless you all.
Oh my God, that was awesome. Can you? Y'all, shout out to Joshua Carr, who paid us a lovely visit. I don't know if you're still listening, but I enjoyed this series, the mini-series. Oh, my only criticism is the episodes could be a lot longer. This was so good and so well done. You have no idea how well done this was. Your ability to lay out the information and be clear and consistent in every single episode is absolutely phenomenal. Well done. Well done. I look forward to setting up this interview with Joshua Carr, you all. Maybe we could persuade him for one more episode. It was so good. I've been absolutely blessed. You guys, this is phenomenal. Oh my God. What a good day this was. This turned out to be. Despite the sadness, man, I want to thank all of you all. Let's get in some supers here. Shout out to Candace. Thank you so much for dropping the YouTube channel link. Joshua Carr came into the chat, you guys, paid us a lovely visit. I had left him a comment asking for an interview, dropped him the email. Let me make sure I got it. Let's see here. Oh man, I hope let me see. I want to make sure I have it before I move forward. Oh, yep, I got it. We got it, y'all. So I'm gonna set up this interview with him, and we're gonna have him in the Lady Luck Club. I am so excited about this. You have no idea. Huge, huge fan. Shout out to Joshua Carr for this fantastic series. I hope you at least think about one more episode, just one more. But I do understand your reasoning and justification for it. I don't think this was ever about. I never got the sense that this was about you hating her or anything. And hopefully, no one tells you that. I mean, her people are going to say it. Let's be honest. The cult members are not happy when you talk bad about the cult leader, but it's a cult. I mean, it is what it is. But this was well done, well researched, and laid out very plain and clear and consistent and precise. And you did it with grace. Man, this was awesome. Thank you so much, y'all. We look forward to this. This is awesome. I look forward to an interview. I look forward to going over on Gary's channel next week. And then, of course, setting up this interview with Joshua Carr. It's going to be a good week leading into my birthday. God bless it. Oh, man. Thank y'all so much. Let's get this Wyoming gal gifted 5 Lady Luck Club memberships. Shout out to you. Oh, you guys, I got to give away the 10. We get 10 every month. I got to give these 10 away. Let's see here. Okay. I had to pull this up so I can give away my 10 on YouTube. So thank you so much. If you've gotten a membership from Wyoming Gal, show us some love. Shout out to my mods here, all the members, supporters. I hope you enjoy this membership. And it'll be awesome because once we go on Gary at Paramount Tactical and have this interview with Joshua Carr, I'll be able to put some exclusive videos up for the members. So that's going to be phenomenal. I appreciate that so much. Thank you, Wyoming Gal, for your support, as well as Melinda. Get the 5 LLC memberships. Y'all, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the support. Shout out to Gary. Gary, who's gonna we're gonna be joining next week. Once we get that solidified, Joshua Carr showed up in the chat, y'all. Bless my soul. And if you're listening, I look forward to having you on the LLC, and you can give us whatever you're willing to share. I have so many questions. And we're gonna have a good time, you all. Let me give away these memberships so you guys can enjoy. I just want to thank you guys for the support as well. I said in the beginning, this last 2 days have been very difficult. Tomorrow will be my father's birthday. He passed away July 6th, 2023 from prostate cancer. So that's gonna be a little tough. And then one of my godmothers passed away on Thursday, on yesterday. So it's that's been something else. And she's been in my life since I was a baby. So yeah, my mother called and texted me and told me, yeah, man, grief is something else. And everybody grieves differently. So, that's why it's imperative for, at least sane minded people to understand that Erica Kirk is not going to grieve the way people expect her to, because people grieve differently. And it doesn't take away the pain of losing somebody and the hurt and the sadness. But you have to let people process and grieve the way they know how, and the way, we're able to do so to end up having some peace and comfort. Because people bottle their emotions and feelings inside. It is very damaging. And I understand how she feels. I do. I'm still mourning the loss of my grandmother. She passed away in 2017. She raised me. So it's a lot happening. So I just want to thank you guys so much for your support and so much for showing nothing but love and positive energy here. Thank you guys so much for having my back. I appreciate that. Let's get these memberships to you all. And I hope you guys enjoy. Tune in tomorrow. We are going to have a marathon of content with uh on Candace. Y'all, I have so many videos lined up. You guys are sending me links left and right. And then of course we're gonna go over a couple videos for Umar, the Oompa Loompa. And of course, check out the newest episode on Polite. It, who's another cult leader? Y'all, these cult leaders are something else, okay? In the day and age of social media, you got to be mindful and stay vigilant for these cults. It is so easy to get sucked into a cult mentality and this cult of personality. That next thing you know, you're in this cult and it's kind of like someone forcing you to have some loyalty or something. Like, no, that's not how we do that. We all have freedom of choice and free will. Once you start seeing signs that people are forcing you to pick and choose, nope, time to go. So that's why I thank you all so much for all your support, because you could be watching anyone else and you chose to hang out with me here in the LLC. I've gifted the 10 memberships. So you guys enjoy. I appreciate the support. Shout out to you, Melinda. Shout out to you, Wyoming gal. Thank you all so much here. And you guys enjoy. We're going to be back at this tomorrow with our marathon. You guys know I can easily do 8 hours. So get your popcorn, get your red Kool-Aid, purple. Shout out to Grimace. Y'all, Grimace. Candace. We're going to end on this one. Y'all, he just wanted to show his face. He wanted everybody to know he's still here. Oh, Grimace. Y'all, say hello to Grimace. This is my source, Candace. He wanted everybody to know he's had a great day and he's still drinking that shake. Crack his wick. Shout out to Grimace, y'all. This is Candace's source. He tells me a whole lot of things about Candace. Lord, you can't make this up. So you see Grimace wants you all to enjoy your evening. This was not going to be long because I just got to get some rest, and you guys get some rest and get ready for that marathon tomorrow starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Look out for the notification on the interview with Joshua Carr. And, of course, the collab we're going to have with Gary on Paramount Tactical next week. I'm excited, and I'm just ready to continue on this journey with you all, and I'm taking y'all with me. We got Scientology Sunday coming up. It's going to be a blast. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate you guys. And to the next one, Grimace. Yeasty Grimace says, have a good evening. Crack his whack. Don't do it. And I will see you all in the next one. Deuces.